Hello and welcome to episode 66 of the Championship Rounds podcast. We'll talk about what happened this week or last weekend later in the show because we don't want to talk about it and you don't want to listen to it, so we'll save that for later. We'll move on to some good boxing happening this weekend. Probably the most interesting fight, or the biggest fight, so to speak, is Shakur Stevenson defending his WBC lightweight title against William Zepeda. Um, Weird fight in the sense that if you made this fight in October, when it was first sort of talked about, well, not first talked about, but rumored for, and then obviously Zepeda pulled out of that fight for whatever reason. It was a lot more interesting because now you've had two sort of pretty terrible performances from Zepeda against Tevin Farmer. Um, got dropped in the first one, and the second one was really close. Um, and yeah, it's sort of taken the shine off the fight a little bit, I think, and it certainly sort of swayed public opinion. Like there were a lot more people picking William Zepeda in this fight 6 months ago, or like 9 months ago, sorry, than there are now.
It's not that it's done irreparable damage. I mean, like, he can repair it with a win, but it's done a lot of damage to this fight. With those, you could have said, like, if he just lost to Tevin Farmer, okay, Tevin Farmer's a veteran, he's crafty, he's skilled. It's the style he hasn't come up with. But then Tevin Farmer goes and gets iced in a round by Floyd Schofield.
Yeah,
And
it
I
looks
think,
like it just doesn't
I
even
think,
need to.
yeah, I think that's done the most damage, to be honest, rather than the performances against Tevin Farmer, is what happened to Tevin Farmer after.
And that he went 22 rounds with him and looked like he looked like shit in all in like most of them. So
Yeah, it's like people don't look good against Tevin Farmer, well, mostly because of his style. But like it's a 2025 Tevin Farmer, and like you arguably lost one of those fights at least.
and Floyd Schofield treated him like a 2025 version of Tevin Farmer.
And like Floyd Schofield hadn't had like the craziest performances, I guess, going into that. Like he looked fine. He looked like good against Tehran, but he did get hurt a few times, and then he just chinned him in a round. And it's just like this is Shakur Stevenson. I mean, he might be like the hardest fighter to outpoint in the whole sport. It's like you're having that much trouble with Tevin Farmer, and this wasn't even a Tevin Farmer who moved either. Tevin Farmer doesn't have the legs to move. He just stood there.
This is just upper body movement.
Yeah, he just stood there like, rolling and slipping and riding and Billy shelling shots and just countering and doing his thing. Like, yeah, sure, you can throw loads of punches against that, but against Shakur, who, like, it's either Shakur's either gonna move or he's gonna somehow throw it back to his 130 days against like Herring and push Williams to pay it backwards. I mean, either way, like, it's not great. It's not great unless he somehow just stands there and does what Tevin Farmer did. I mean, he's not really got much of a shot, really.
I,
And
I,
even then, Shakur can stand in the pocket and not get hit. I mean, he's arguably better at a farmer than that. So
I feel like the only thing Zepeda could do is just, well, I guess what he does in most fights is swarm him, but I just have a feeling that Shakur is just gonna take that away and he's gonna go from like his like 80, 90 punches around to like 50 and kind of get like frozen at times.
because like he doesn't need to like have his feet set to throw, but when they're not set, his output drastically lowers, and like trying to work that around someone like Shakur Like, especially when like you're not going to be able to hit him anyway because he's such a good defensive fighter. And when you're not hitting someone, you're gonna like not gonna want to throw more as well. His output's just gonna drop and drop and drop. Like, maybe he's just a guy that is just not gonna drop and he's gonna throw loads of punches and outwork a guy and win the decision. But even then, I mean, he outworked Tevin Farmer like quite a bit, especially in the second fight, and he still barely even won. So maybe I mean, you would have thought someone who throws that much punches would just win every round on the cards, but no. So even then, that might not work. Just outworking him, even if you're not landing anything.
I think, as well as Zepeda, like certainly over the last few fights, like his defense has been getting so much worse. Like some of the shots Farm was landing in that rematch, like obviously the big shot in the first fight dropped him, but like he was getting stunned by uppercuts constantly in the second fight and like getting hit clean, and like it was a Tevin Farmer who had pretty much had one arm from the first sort of 3 or 4 rounds of that fight. Can't remember when the arm injury happened, but like he had one arm that fight,
For most
and
of it was like round 3 or 4.
yeah, and he dominated the second half of it. So like, like that's the thing as well as Zepeda. Like, is he weight drained a bit? Because his volume certainly dropped, and he really wasn't very good down the second half of that fight against Farmer, especially in the second one. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I always thought Shakur would win this fight even before the Farmer fights. But now, like, it's really hard to see him losing. Like, I guess the hands could go. That's the big issue here with Shakur. Like, if he breaks his hands and can't throw them, like, and then Zepeda nicks a decision on volume. But I really think Shakur's gonna win this fight pretty comfortably. To be honest,
He might have a career best performance, to be honest. He he, he won't have to go looking anywhere to hit him, so
no,
he'll be
I can
standing
see
right
sort
there
of
in front of him.
yeah, I can see sort of a Valdez thing as well, where Zepeda gets so desperate that he sort of throws himself at Shakur. Shakur sort of slipping him and landing something, and Zepeda goes down on the way, and like he scores a couple of knockdowns maybe because of that. Like the Valdez thing was Valdez sort of couldn't get near him, so started lunging, and then got caught on the way through. Shakur circled out, and then Valdez went down, and I can see that happening here. I don't think Zepeda's feet are anywhere near good enough to deal with him.
And he doesn't have he doesn't have a bad chin, but we've seen him down multiple times. I
Yeah,
think maybe 3 times.
it was the farmer. What other fight was it? There was it Arbaloda dropped him?
I'm not sure the other two. I feel like I've seen him hit the floor a couple times.
Someone dropped him. It was a fight in Mexico. God, who was it? It was a fight. I remember watching it. It was in Mexico, and someone dropped him there. Um,
Yeah, like he could be stopped. Like it's, I feel like for Shakur to stop someone like in the round and not like a corner stoppage, he has to like really punch through somebody, like how he was doing with Herring and Yoshino. He was trying to like punch through them. I also don't trust his hands, so I kind of feel like he might be aggressive at times, but I feel like he'll coast once he realizes he doesn't want to shatter his hands. So I think he'll win every
yeah,
second
I
of the
agree.
fight. To be honest,
Think I think a pretty wide Stevenson decision.
I think he'll win every single round. To be honest,
I think he's gonna box the first half, and I think he'll get more aggressive and try and go back to the walking down thing like he was doing at 130, and I guess against Haratunian.
you
I
trust those phalanges?
I think that if this was made a year ago, we wouldn't even contemplate walking him down. But with what's happened with Zepeda, I think it might have given him a bit of confidence. I don't trust his hands, but his hands are always like that, so
No, but
You
you
know,
see
it's.
how bad they are now. Like they're like
I mean,
significantly worse.
they were bad at 130. I mean, he's just always had bad hands. Like, he's just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Uh, but like with Shakur on the back foot, I guess Zepeda would have a chance. I guess like just to throw loads, even if nothing lands. But if Zepeda's on the back foot, he has no chance. He can't fight on the back foot at all to save his life.
Literally can't picture him fighting like that.
And he
His only chance is to go forward.
he wouldn't know what to do.
He wouldn't throw. I don't think he'd throw punches. Like
He probably can't throw punches on the back foot. I mean, I don't think he'd ever.
He might not get in stopped.
I don't think he'll get stopped. To be honest, I don't think he'll get stopped
I think at times he'll just get beat on pretty good.
because like
I don't think he'll get stopped.
look at the punches he was landing on Padley. I mean, they weren't doing anything. It was only the body shots that were having an effect. And I guess he could do that, but I don't know. Just Mexicans, they're tough. Like,
Yeah, I don't think he'll get stopped. But
yeah,
like you said, if he gets put on the back foot as a Zepeda, and then he doesn't know what to do, and Shakur was like, this is just me having PTSD from watching British referees stop fights for absolutely no reason when people are on the back foot. To be honest, but yeah, yes, I don't think he'll get stopped. But yeah, Shakur could be on him at times. You're right, George.
Yeah, I think it'll be good though. Um, he needs to perform like a performance against a fighter that's not Joshua Padley and Suchiro Yoshino. He needs something. He needs some like a name.
like
Hasn't been a name in
yeah,
a couple of years.
he just needs a good opponent, like a top opponent. Like De Los Santos was a top opponent at the time, but
He needs to put them together. Like he has
the
like
performance.
good opponent, and then bad performance, or like or the opposite. He needs both. He needs good opponent, good performance.
Like at least De Los Santos had just like iced Valenzuela and hadn't really looked vulnerable, I guess. But now Zepeda has looked vulnerable. I mean, he's still dangerous, of course. I mean, he throws so many punches and he's relentless and his engine is crazy. That was basically all the same thing at once. Anyway, I mean, he is tough. He's Mexican. He's just got dropped because the defense is so bad. Like, it's not even that his chin is bad. It's just the defense is so bad, and that's what happens when you fight people that don't really pose much threat. Like you just don't care. You're used to taking these punches easily, and you won't fix that. And then you'll get someone who's like, because Tevin Palmer's not a hard puncher.
He just
He just catch you.
he just accurate puncher.
Yeah, he's just catch your shots you don't see. He didn't see the shot that put him down.
Yeah, you could he wasn't hurt from that, but you don't see it coming. You're gonna hit the floor. And I don't know, but the debate between who
That's the
hit harder
thing.
between Shakur and Tevin, but they'll do the same thing. So
That's the thing with Zepeda. A lot of his a lot of his matchmaking has been very, very small rings against guys that don't really punch and can't take body shots. And it's like, yeah, like obviously you're gonna rack up wins doing that. And then it's like when you step up, like even against Alvarado all those years ago, like he didn't look great. Alvarado had a lot of success in that fight. That was a close fight. And like I don't know, against guys where he has to step up, I guess Jojo Diaz maybe, but then again, smaller guy, and that was like the the start of the decline of Jojo Diaz. Like, yeah, I just don't think I don't think he's been matched overly tough. They've been very careful with their styles and who they put him in with, and they've got him into this position. And then they took the Farmer fight thinking it would be the same, but Farmer had a bit more left. And yeah, I just can't see a way that he wins this fight unless Shakur gets injured. his hand's injured, sort of thing.
It's
And
like
can't throw
it might.
punches.
I guess in his defense, for some preparation for this fight, I guess. I mean, he's fought a couple movers, like boxers, I guess, like Maxie Hughes and anyone else. I can't really remember most of his opponents, to be honest. That's how much I care about his career.
Rara, Masito Gesta. Like, there's
None
a
of
lot
those
of
guys move.
pretty average names on there. But they're not. Gesta's tiny, and Cabrera is just not very good. And like, I don't know, man. I've questioned his matchmaking for a long time, and I just don't think it's gonna go well for him. I think he's in with an elite fighter, and he's nowhere near an elite fighter.
I'm not ruling him out.
But anyway, we'll move on. I am, to be honest. I am
Like,
ruling him out, to be honest with you.
I'm not ruling him out, but I give him like a single digit percentage chance. Basically.
Yeah.
Like, should be. I expect a dominant performance. Whether that's a good performance is a different question, but a dominant performance where he wins like every round. Like, I don't know, maybe lose the first round. Sure, that's okay, but then he's just
And the
dominating.
12th round because Shakur was like dancing all over there.
Yeah, he'll be showboating. Like, Zepeda will be coming forward after losing every round, just guns blazing, throwing the kitchen sink, trying to get a knockout that he needs. And he doesn't get it because, Shakur's just better. Pretty much, he's just better. Yeah, basically.
Yep, pretty much. Like, Shakur should win this fight comfortably. Um. Anyway, we'll move on to the next fight. They're doing all this weird running order with this card. I don't know what the running order is, to be honest.
I think Sheeraz Berlanga's cheese support, they keep doing it as a double header, don't they? Whenever I see the poster, it's all four of them. So I think that's the chief
Yeah,
support.
we'll go on to that fight. This is a weird fight because it's pretty much 50-50 with the bookmakers. I don't know why. I think there's a clear favourite in this fight. Um, to be honest with you, I just don't think Ed Berlanga is anywhere near as good as the hype he's got, and I think Sheeraz is gonna ping him with a long left jab all night because Berlanga can't move his head. Berlanga's got slow feet, and he's got no defense. And Sheeraz just needs to keep it on the outside and keep it long, and he'll win this fight easily. Like, obviously, Berlanga's got a puncher's chance. Like, he is big and he does hit really hard. But literally all the technical skills are in Shiraz's favour here. Like, all of them. He can fight on the inside better. He's got a better jab. Better on the outside, better feet. Better defense, probably. Like, the one thing that Berlanga probably is better than him at is power. And that's the only way that I see Berlanga winning this fight. But I favour Shiraz pretty heavily here, man. I've got to say.
It's like with Sheeraz, I think the same with the Zepeda thing. If this fight happened before the Adamas fight, like, I don't even think anyone would be picking Berlanga, but it's just after the Adamas fight. But I mean, he was. Didn't he hurt? Did he hurt his left hand in that fight? I feel like he
He
did
broke
or
it.
something. Yeah, so it's like his best weapon. He's lost his best weapon, so it's hard to say. And him being massive for the way he's moving up to 168, I'm sure will be a lot better. I definitely give Berlanga more of a chance than I give Zepeda, at least. Just because, I mean, we've seen Sheeraz, he's been down, and we've seen him hurt. And Berlanga can punch, and it's not like Sheeraz is some defensive wizard. I mean, he gets hit a lot. Well, not a lot, but enough. Like skill wise, I mean, Berlanga's not great, but like he's physically strong. He can punch. He's explosive. And, sometimes that's all you need. I'm not picking him. I think Sheeraz is going to win a decision behind his jab because the jab, especially in 2025, such a good weapon. No one can defend the jab, especially not Berlanga. It might just be the story of the fight. It's Hamza Sheeraz's jab.
Yeah, it's not. It's not going to be a fun watch. I don't think.
I mean, it could be interesting, or at least like kind of like on the edge of your seat, waiting the possibility of Berlanga landing a shot and catching him. Like Sheeraz, he can punch, but Berlanga's been down. But I mean, he showed pretty good chin and toughness in the Canelo fight. And like before that, I mean, the McCrory fight, I mean, that's like his best performance, maybe, outside of all the 16 people he knocked out in the first round. Like, he looked good. He looked good for Edgar Berlanga in that fight, at least.
Not very often.
And then it's like he had the Canelo fight and he like lost it. Most rounds got dropped. But I mean, like, he fought back and he showed a lot of toughness. And then he came back and, just chinned the guy in a round. I don't really see. I mean, that doesn't really tell me anything of how he's at after the punches he took from Canelo. Because, I mean, he did take a lot of punches. It's not vintage Canelo, but he took a lot of punches.
It could be 50-year-old Canelo. Took some bombs.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's a good. I mean, it's a good fight considering I don't really know. I think Blanca's still probably ranked top 10. I don't know. And Sheeraz's first fight at the weight, coming off a not great performance. Well, a give draw. Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean it's fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Berlanga's definitely got more chance than Zepeda has, but like in that Adames fight for Sheeraz, it was 80% of the issues he had in that fight was Adames getting low and moving his head
Yeah,
because he couldn't time the jab, and Adames sort of slipped forward, moving his head down low, and Sheeraz just couldn't time him. Berlanga's just going to be straight up in the air, and it's going to be such an easy shot to land, and like. I don't know. I just think he can land it so often that you might stop him. He does punch. He does like punch pretty hard, Sheeraz, and the jab's very accurate. And like maybe I don't know, Belanga's eyes swell up or something like that, or his nose goes from the jabs, and then he just sort of unravels a little bit. Maybe late on, I can definitely see sort of a stoppage in the second half, maybe last third of the fight, Sheeraz, and I can also see Sheeraz winning every minute of the round and then just getting iced. I can see that happening. Like
yeah,
this, the thing with Berlanga, he's not good, but he's got a punch.
yeah. That's the worry. Like, I'm not sure how great Shiraz's chin is. I mean, it's not terrible. Otherwise, he would have been chinned. And getting hit by a big puncher. I mean, his name is biggest puncher he'll face, and then dangerous moving up a weight class as well. I mean, it's a big jump from middleweight to 168, and the 168 they're really big guys.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I will say is though, um, that I think's been slightly overlooked. Andy Lee in the corner had a lot of success with Quigley against Berlanga. Like, if Quigley wasn't dropped in that fight, he wins that fight easily. But he just couldn't take the power. And if Sheeraz can, like, yeah, man. And they're sort of similar-ish fighters, Quigley and Sheeraz. Sort of tall, good jabs, that sort of style. But yeah, I favour Sheeraz, but like, yeah, he could just get iced.
That'd
Yeah,
be
that's
pretty
why.
nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I give him like it's like a 70-30 fight for me, rather than like a 99-1 or a 98-2 or 5% at most for Zepeda.
I know
Yeah.
that might be too much.
Anyway, we'll move on to the second world title fight on this card. Fight that's really interesting to me: Alberto Puello against Matías. Um, I don't know. This fight could just play out like the Liam Barrow fight, to be honest. With sort of a good boxing southpaw that's got good long straight shots and can move. It could just end up like a repeat of the Barrow fight.
This is the most obvious Puello split decision ever. There's never
Like,
been a more obvious fight.
it's like he just doesn't lose decisions. But well, I guess like this not an Al Heyman card, but then again, Al Heyman is everywhere. You can't escape Al Heyman. It's like if he hasn't, I mean, I was gonna say if he hasn't learned how to deal with that style, then he's in for a tough night.
Especially
And
against an even bigger fighter.
yeah, and like Puello is better at that style than Poro is. Like it's just Puello's bread and butter, just outboxing a guy. And like they're not the same fighter, but he's for Gary Russell's a hard puncher, come forward guy. He doesn't throw nearly as many punches as Matías, but sort of similar-ish. And he won that fight. Even that shouldn't have been a split decision. He won that fight clearly. And Matías, well, he had that. He fought someone that moved, and he lost, pretty much. Yeah, I just think he's gonna lose. Pretty clear decision. I mean, he'll win rounds based off.
So it'll be a split decision. It'll be like it'll be like all 7-5.
Like the better thing that he will have going for him against Puello is he doesn't like constantly move. He does like to sit on the ropes a bit. Or Matías can just walk away. But I mean, he's pretty okay at work against the ropes. I mean, against the ropes, Russell he fought pretty well. Well, just getting that jab going and keeping his range.
He
Tough.
does have experience with power punches, as you just said, Russell. People who could just knock his head off. He's dealt with time.
Yeah, like Matías, like he's just different than a Russell. Like he doesn't need to load up, and he just throws so many. He just taps, and like he's pretty accurate, and they just take their toll. And sometimes they just take their toll very quickly. Other times it's just out of nowhere. Like you just feel the effects of all those punches that hit you. It's just whether he can hit him. If he can deal with all the movement. But I guess his footwork's not terrible, but he's not the greatest at cutting off the ring against those type of guys. I mean, he can easily cut off the ring against other people, like a Urgashev or someone else. I mean, he didn't need to do it against Ponce, did he? He was right there.
I think one thing with Matías is I don't think it will necessarily be this fight, but he takes a lot of shots, man. Like, if you look at the Ponce fight, the Ergashev fight, even the Paro fight, um, like the amount of shots he takes coming in just to give you one, that's surely going to come on. Like that's going to come back to him soon. Surely, you can't keep doing that, and especially against someone with good feet like Puello, man. Like, yeah, he does sit on the ropes, but like he can pot shot you and get out. I just think it's set up for a Puello decision, man. Just
Yeah, like style wise, yes. I mean, it definitely favors Puello. I mean, paper, but that's why we fight the fights. Like before, style wise, favored Barboza, but Barboza's an idiot against Tio. And Puello's not an idiot. Or if he is an idiot, he hasn't shown it to us yet. And it's like, yeah, like he should have lost against. Oh bloody hell, I forgot his name.
Akhmedov.
Yeah, and I guess he puts on the pressure and throws lots of punches like Matías, but he has like such better footwork and better angles. I mean, he's just a smart fighter. The Matías just deals better with that type of style than Matías does. I think it'll be relatively close, but like a 8-4 Puello decision, which will mean Matías will win like 8 rounds on one card because it seems to always happen.
Yep.
Like one of the judges gave Russell 10 rounds. 10 rounds.
Boxing, man. Boxing. In sort of a broader context, this Puello's sort of putting together a really, really good run. Like I know about the drug issues, and I know a couple could have gone the other way decision wise, but Akhmedov, Russell, and Sandor Martin, you add a Matías into that, like that's a really, really good run, man.
And it's like yeah, a few of them were close, but the only one that he definitely should have lost was the Aguero fight. The other ones were perfectly fine. And in fact, like Russell was just a clear win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good run. Like, yeah, this is a good fight. It's just a good fight.
Yeah.
He hasn't like bounced fully back, I guess, but like a win against like Valenzuela, I mean, it's okay, and especially with the way he beat him up. Like that's the more impressive thing. Like he didn't go life and death; he just beat him up.
Yeah. It's a solid fight, man. It's probably probably the most evenly matched fight on the card. Yeah, this is a good card. We give Turkey a lot of shit on this show, but this is a good show. Um, I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. A light heavyweight fight to finish off this show. David Morrell's back 5 months after the Benavides fight, and he's taking on Iman Kataev in a fight that I think is going to be really fun, but I think it might turn into a bit of a beating in the second half. I look at someone like Morrell, and I look at the way he dealt with Benavides. Like, he lost that fight fairly. Like, he did lose that fight, but a lot of the work he was doing on the countering shots and the slick defense on the inside, and then you've got Kataev, who's quite one-dimensional and pretty slow, to be honest, and doesn't have the defense of Benavides or the hand speed. And I think it's going to be a really, really fun sort of 4 or 5 rounds when they're both going at it, and then Morrell's just going to pull away and then beat Kataev up.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a shootout for 6 rounds or so. I mean, they're both big punches.
I like that.
not that I can't see this going the distance, but I mean, I think it's going to end in a knockout, and it's probably going to end with Kataev getting knocked out. Pretty much. I mean, Morales is better, really. He's the more skilled fighter. Like, I mean, I just haven't really liked what I've seen from Kataev recently. Like, he was looking like crazy, and then he's just kind of not really impressed me recently, to be honest.
Yeah. The Moderna fight, he was training a little bit in that fight after like 3 or 4 rounds, I think, and he was getting hit a lot by Moderna.
Yeah, like, other than his jab, I mean, his jab has looked fine. Other than that, I mean, he might be getting worse, to be honest. I mean, I think it's just getting worse and worse each fight, which is not great.
Maybe. But it's a really, really solid comeback fight for Morel. Like, Kataev's sort of a fringe top 10 guy. Like, obviously the amateur pedigree and all that, and he's a good pro. He's got good wins, like Bolotnik's, Moderna. Like, he's been at a good level. He's not like a well beater or anything, but he's a very good fighter. And like, this is a brilliant, like, these sort of comeback fights. I was speaking to someone earlier. Morel's come back much quicker than Benavidez and is probably fighting a better fighter at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, like, a comeback fight. I mean, he's jumping straight back into the deep end with this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like, this is a tough fight, and it's a good fight as well.
And I love Morel for that. I respect that guy.
yeah, hopefully it's a 6-round shootout. Yeah, I think Morel stops him. I really do. Kataev just gets hit way too much, man. What else is on this show? Reto Tatsumi's back for his second fight against Journeyman. He should just batter this Journeyman, like they always do. And then one of the Saudi prospects, Alakal, or however you say it, he's dreadful. Like honestly, I've never seen one of these Saudi prospects that I thought, is any good at all. Like that Ami Youth, that he's better than Ami Youth, and that's what you can really say, because that Ami Youth is terrible. He should have lost like 2 or 3 fights by now.
Yeah,
But
it's
Jesus,
not really easy to be better than him.
yeah, Jesus Christ, some of these Saudi prospects are terrible, man. But yeah, it's a good show. I'll enjoy it. I look forward to it. What else is happening this week? There's a Probot show. Also on Saturday, I believe. Lester Martinez was meant to be on it, but of course, with every single Lester Martinez fight, he has to pull out at least 3 times before they actually fight. So I believe Vlad Hernandez is headlining this against Francisco Daniel Veron. A good fight at 154. Veron lost to Brandon Adams in the OTX tournament last year. And we all know who Vlad Hernandez is, like, just on a mad run, man. Like, he's one of the best journeymen in the sport. Like, he is a proper journeyman.
He's
like
there's not one.
yeah. At this point, he's like a fringe contender, to be honest. But like, man, he's been on such a good run at Pro Box, and he's really entertaining to watch. And Veron, was it Jahai Tucker he fought? Yeah, he drew Jahai Tucker in a really good fight, and I thought he won that, if I remember correctly. And yeah, he's a fun fighter, Veron. Hopefully this fight's fun. There's also a WBC light flyweight eliminator, Eric Badillo against Gerardo Zapata on there, which should be okay. Erdan Abat, the guy who broke Ryan Garcia's ribs on the Akitsugi against Jonas Sultan. Then you got guys like Balderas, Nikolai Tesserand's turning pro on this show. He was an Olympian. He gave Medinkiev, who won gold, a really good fight. And beat up Macandre in the Olympics. He's a good fighter, Danish good. And there's not much else on this show. Just your typical pro box prospects coming through, really. Should be a decent show though. Like, it's missing that Lester Martinez fight, if we're being honest.
Yeah. He needs to retire. Not gonna lie. Look, when you're getting headaches,
with him.
you probably should think about calling it a day. That's not like Benny Pereira was getting headaches before he had the Griffith fight. Joe McClellan, he was getting headaches for years until the Ben fight. Like, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, especially with like what's happening with Jinjiro now as well. Like, it's not a great sign. I mean, that's risk you shouldn't be willing to take.
Yep, I agree. But he won't. He'll keep fighting because people keep giving him licenses, even though he keeps getting migraines and putting out fights, which is just frustrating. It's not good. But you know, boxing. But yeah, that's probably about it for this weekend. I don't know if there's anything else. I think there's nothing else this weekend really.
Alright. Well, there is. You can mute right now if you want. Todd Rose.
Yeah.
Alright, we have Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano third fight.
Well, if that's it, then that's fine. It is kind of getting I'm kind of bored. I don't want to see them fight anymore.
I mean,
Like, they were
look,
great fights, but like I just don't. This storyline is.
That's one
boring.
thing I agree. I do not want to see them fight.
They
yes,
both
we know you
shouldn't be
don't.
fighting anymore. Like,
You're
let
not,
alone each other, they shouldn't be fighting.
look, Tucker, you're not going to watch the fight anyway, so you haven't even seen the first two fights.
He probably is.
Look, I mean, it's some fights, some like rivalries when it's 2-0 to someone, they don't deserve a trilogy, like, or don't warrant a trilogy, like Usyk, Fury, or. But this one is because, well, I mean, most people seem to have Serrano winning the second fight. It's like, I don't really know. Like, does she just have to knock out Katie Taylor to win this fight? Just to win, maybe. Because I know it's like some people did have Katie Taylor winning the rematch, but I just don't see it. Like, she's just a genius at her style, pretty much, and especially when
she can't even do that anymore after all that.
Especially with like 2-minute rounds when she just like flurries of her amateur style, and it doesn't even matter if she lands or not. Like, she she throws so many punches compared to Serrano, who's actually like throwing like 3 clean punches with proper technique, whereas Kate Taylor just throwing like 10. And if like one lands, it doesn't matter. Even if all of Serrano's lands, they just give her the fights. I've just always hated Kate Taylor's style. It's just so amateurish. But you know, it's worked because she's arguably the GOAT, I guess. You know, I mean, unless Kate Taylor somehow pulled off miraculous shit, and Amanda Serrano's like 8 overnight. I mean, I just can't see anything other than a Serrano win, like actual winning, not Kate Taylor getting another possible gift.
I think they'll just hand it to her this time. Even if it's close again, it'll probably be close again. They'll be like, here, damn, take it.
Like, they're just gonna have them fight until she eventually just wins. Like what Fury's gonna try and do with Usyk. Maybe. That was a good fight. It'll probably be another good fight because it always is.
Okay. Is there anything else on that you want to talk about? Or
Well, I talk about the whole card, but I'm not going to do that.
it's just the only interesting thing for me on that show is it's just interesting that Chantel Cameron's suddenly comfortable with Shane McGuigan being around Fight Week again.
Maybe they made up.
Maybe. I very much doubt that.
Maybe she decided not to hold a garage anymore.
Yeah, maybe since she left a certain someone. I don't. And yeah, I don't know if Peter Fury's allowed into the country anymore or again, but who knows? We'll see, I guess, or you'll see. I won't see. Right, we're gonna do this then.
Fortunately.
God, I managed about a minute and a half of this fight, and I still regret it even now. It's Tuesday. Jack Catcher, Harlem Eubank, just oh God, oh God. It's just
A fight of Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. How is this gonna go? Even worse than you imagined.
look, honestly, last week I got a lot of predictions wrong, and this was one of them. And I was just honestly probably hoping more than expecting.
I was
I was
also
begging.
But I've already told you.
He literally you clocked it. Catterall made him do nothing. He
Yeah.
hypnotized him to do nothing.
It's what he does. I don't understand how he does
He
it, but he
is a
does it.
hypnotist. He gets trained by Steve Collins. He's a hypnotist.
Like, his style is so bad, so putrid, so against boxing that it hypnotizes all his opponents to
Like,
do the exact
ooh,
same.
you also throw 20 punches around. Ooh.
20?
Like,
That's a 20 punches for Jack Carroll is like the equivalent of, I don't know, Chocolatito throwing 200 punches around. That's the equivalent.
oh my
I
god.
genuinely think he has the worst style in boxing history. I can't think of anyone whose
Like,
style is worse.
there's also people who can't punch. There's also people who aren't volume punchers, but he doesn't do anything. He is a feint and weight merchant.
He makes Devin Haney look like Arturo
Bro, I
Gatti.
swear to God, he looks.
He
Devin Haney
does.
is Bobby Chacon compared to him.
Look, Shakur against Nakatia and Edwin De Los Santos, he did so much more than Jack Carroll does.
He got a knockdown in the Nakati fight.
Yeah, it's like he just threw so many more punches. It's like, what's the point? Like,
I don't know. I
why
don't
do
know.
you
Like,
train to fight like that?
I'm mad that Eubank decided to actually have like a good performance, like before this fight, to to put a little salt in the wounds. Like, oh man, maybe just he finally found a stride. Nope, he got hypnotized. He was showboating instead of punching. He was pretending like he won the fight after. I need both of them to be stripped of their licenses and never be seen near a ring again.
You know, like, not even did he pretend that he won the fight. He said they robbed him of. He was gonna get a knockout win. He's like, yeah, I was on my way to knocking him out. No,
I promise he did get some knockout wins. Just people at
yeah, the
home.
crowd, everyone.
Like
You want some?
I probably put that on my life. Someone fell asleep watching this, watching this, because I almost did, and it was like 2 in the afternoon. So
Like,
Do you want some Jack Catchall stats? By the way,
let's get that. No, it can't be that many of them. But yeah, go.
there can't be any.
so the last time Jack Catchall knocked someone out was in April 2019 against Oscar Amador. He was 10-17. Just to put that in context, that was on the Dubois against Richard Latte undercard. The last time he stopped someone with a winning record was in May 2018. And that was against Christopher Saberi, who was 26-10-1. That was on the Selby against Warrington undercard.
Okay.
The last
I
time
just,
he stopped
I
someone with single-digit losses was against Martin Gethin at the Manchester Arena in April 2017. Yes. On the on Liam Williams against Liam Smith won the undercard for that.
I just threw him in my mouth a little. Not gonna lie.
That's why are we putting him on? Why is he headlining?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? The last time he stopped someone with less than 5 losses was Jesus Nunez Rodriguez in December 2015 on the undercard of Billy Joe Saunders against Andy Lee. The last time Jack Catchall stopped someone with less than 5 losses, Billy Joe Saunders was not a world champion.
That could also be now.
Well, yeah, but he's been a world champion, and
Yeah, the last time he threw a punch was 14 months ago against Josh Taylor.
just get him out of the sport. Like, why are we watching him? Who's doing this? Like, who's thinking it's a good idea to put him on TV? Is that really how bad British boxing is now? Seriously, it's just dreadful.
This is karma for boxing fans and the boxing establishment for letting all the top fighters get away with failing drugs tests. We have to watch Jack Carroll because we give people 6-month bans or give them nothing. Or like, yeah, sure, you ate some wild boar or some tainted meat. It's fine. Carry on sticking needles in your ass.
What about herbal tea?
Yeah,
Or
just
eggs?
go drink your herbal tea or your eggs. Or your nose thingies.
Inhalers, everything. Yeah, it's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Just awful. Like there's nothing else. I'm trying to sort of think of something, and all I can just think of are much worse words to describe that.
See, because the worst thing was like the couple fights before that. I mean, they weren't even that bad. They were good. Or at least, well, one of them wasn't good. Joe Cordina was in a competitive fight, and then you just knew like Jack Harrell was coming up was going to be terrible.
Oh God!
I generally rather watch Pat Brown just chin a load of people in a round, which happened on the card.
Yeah.
Get him out of my spot.
It's just awful. We'll move on because that was just Joe Cordina's back in the mix at lightweight. Beat Jarrett Gonzalez Quiros via UD.
By the skin of his teeth, you mean? Jesus.
He got caught a lot, and he didn't look like a massive puncher for some reason. Don't know why that is.
Wonder why.
He's back at lightweight now, and he's doing what he was doing at lightweight before he moved down to 130. Sort of UDing people like Gavin Gwynn in competitive fights and stuff like that. Quiroz was good, gave it a go. Like, genuinely tried to win. Landed a few shots, but he's just that class. Cordina was more accurate. But yeah, if we're being honest, at 34, he's nearly 34. He's 34 this year. Cordina, he ain't going to do anything at lightweight. If they're looking at the winner of Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, he loses to both.
I hope not.
Well, that's what they said post-fight, and it's for the WBO global title, which puts him in the rankings for the WBO. So they're probably looking at making him against Abdullah Mason, and Abdullah Mason is going to send him to the moon.
Yeah. He's going to send him to the moon. He's going to land back in, I don't know, Cardiff.
Yeah, God. Awful. Elsewhere, Fiaz Murphy was a fun fight. I thought Murphy nicked it, but
I did a
can't
draw.
really
If I
complain.
would give it to anyone, I'd probably give it to Murphy.
Close fight. It is what it is.
It's a good fight. Close and good.
Like we said multiple times before, those sorts of fights you want to pack out your undercards with, because it was actually it was good to watch. Low level but fun. Leo Atan blasts out a journeyman, 20 odd years older than him. You can't really take much from it, really. Like, he's the type of guy you talk about him in 10 fights time. Like, he's just going to be doing this. He's not going to step up for a while, nor should he. He's only 18. Like, give him 10, 15 of these types of fights, maybe stepping out gradually. And, yeah, I'm sure he'll be good, but he's fun and athletic, I guess. Pat Brown, you mentioned he won. Same with him. Like, he's going to get stopped when he steps up. You can just see it coming a mile off. He's one of these GB guys with his chin miles in the air, no defense, and he's going to get stopped soon. But it'll be fun. He's a really fun fighter, but he'll get stopped soon. Talking of people with no defense getting iced, William Cronner.
I forgot. That was so funny.
The Manchester Golovkin gets schooled, completely outboxed, battered, dropped and stopped by Fraser Wilkinson. I thought Wilkinson was in a very good shot. I thought he had a really good shot in this fight. You hear rumblings of him in the local scene. He won an area title. He's a 2-division Scottish area champion, for whatever that's worth. Like, he's okay at this sort of level, and William Cronner's not okay. He's a gimmick, and he's a big stiff idiot, and he's not very good. And for all his faults, Fraser Wilkinson, he did lose to Corey McCulloch and Sutherland. Like, he is a decent fighter at this sort of level. And yeah, tall southpaw, and it was just easy work. You could tell from the first round that Cronner was going to lose that fight if Fraser didn't just totally fall apart. And yeah, he didn't fall apart. If anything, it was the other way around. And yeah, he stops in the 6th round. And that's what British boxing gets for relying on people, gimmicks of fighters that weren't even that good to begin with. Like,
let's respect Anthony Crawler. Let's respect Anthony Crawler.
He's okay. He was okay. He wasn't brilliant, but we don't need to see his brother boxing, do we?
Not anymore. We don't.
No, we didn't to begin with. Yeah, he's not very good. In Russia on Saturday, a lot of boring decisions, silly arguing one. Suslin beat Kurbanov in a very good fight. I thought that was quite entertaining.
It was.
And Carrington Argborough got brutally iced. Beautiful shot by Neri Munoz. I've posted that on my Twitter if you want to have a look at it. It's a beautiful left hand. Apart from that, just boring decision after boring decision, like every RCC card ever. So we've got to we've got to talk about that, haven't we? We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, I've been waiting for
Wednesday. It feels like a decade ago. Jazza Dickens batters up at Batkasiev.
Oh,
Absolutely flocks him.
oh man.
And stops him in the 4th round. He just bashed him up.
I feel like I haven't got out of my chair for a fight in a while, and that had me hollering.
He just flogged him.
it. Yeah, he did. He
He
just
beat
battered
the
him.
shit up.
I mean, yeah. If you haven't seen him fight, I mean, he just battered him pretty much. He bullied him. And Jazza Dickens, soon to be world champion.
Okay, you just ruined it. God damn.
He's gonna get upgraded. We will be
I
there.
know. No.
Like, I hate it, but it'll be funny because of Jazza Dickens.
You know, he's going to be the only British world champion.
That's insane.
He's not British. He's Scouse.
Okay, well, but he will be the only British world champion. Yeah. Is this where it's heading?
What happened to the game?
Maybe.
Is this where it's heading?
It's already there.
This whole year stamped it in. It's over.
We never know. Maybe Dubois beats Usyk somehow. Maybe Anthony Hart beats Benavidez.
Yeah, we'll move on to that in a sec. But yeah, Batchkov also went on that card. He's a fun fighter. He won't reach the top level though. He'll be a fun contender. But we'll move on to the news, shall we? The news. What's happened? We'll talk about that. Why is David Benavidez fighting Anthony Yard? Why? Like, who the hell is? How? Like, what's happening with Anthony Yard? How is he getting all these opportunities?
I think Yard has Joe Gonzalez level dirt on somebody.
No, he's got worse.
You know, he does have worse.
Joett's actually had a good win. He's been competitive.
He's been robbed.
You know what? I was saying this to people. We're all like pretty hardcore boxing people. Yeah, we watch loads. We do all this. Yeah. Name like one Anthony Yard opponent who he hasn't lost to without using box rec. And I could do 2.
I can do 2.
Dex Spellman.
Dex Bellman. And the guy he just
get Dex Spellman.
Bill Cans.
Bill Can's the guy he just beat.
I got Travis Reeves and I got Hobbs, the guy he beat for the area title. But Jesus Christ, what's happening? Dex Spellman might be his best win.
So
Oh, no,
he's getting his 3rd shot for winning like the last 45 seconds of round 7 or 6, whichever one here Kovalev in.
Hey,
And what round did he get stopped to?
11.
Oh, I thought it was earlier than that. Okay. Winning maybe a round versus Beterbiev. And fulfilling the trilogy with Lyndon Arthur.
Like, I'll give people the Beterbiev fight. Like, he was semi-competitive, even though he got bad. But he only had 1 round against Kovalev. Pretty much. That was it. Then he got in by a jab. He got outboxed by Lyndon Arthur.
He did tank.
And then he battered him he battered him in the rematch. And then he looked like shit against him in the 3rd fight because he's probably washed.
It's going to be funny.
Like, he's going to try, I guess. But that's
know
not
what's
going to
gonna
stop him getting bad.
just don't
You
care
know
about him
what's going to
dying.
happen?
Well,
He's going to get pushed into a corner. Benavides is going to use his head like a pinball machine for about a minute and a half, just battering it. He's going to stagger back to the corner, and Tunde is going to say, "You need to stop him this round and empty the tank." That's what's going
The
to happen.
lion
And he's going to
on the
get battered.
side of the
He's going to get battered.
well, you can possibly blame your favorite fighter, Callum Smith, for this. They
Oh,
couldn't.
I do blame Callum Smith.
They couldn't find the money that he wanted or something. So I'm guessing he either they're either talking shit and they're just waiting for him to get upgraded or something, or get a title shot against.
I'll tell you what Callum Smith. I'll tell you what Callum Smith's going to do.
He's gonna lose to
No,
someone.
he's going to get upgraded, and then he's going to fight Conor Wallace in a unification.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, he should be fighting David Benavides. But look, see, it might. I'd rather watch Anthony Yard against Benavides than Callum Smith, because at least Yard would actually try.
No, but I like seeing Callum Smith getting beaten up.
Yeah, but right. Well, other than that,
Other than your fetish for him getting beat on.
yeah.
I'd rather see Albert Ramirez get it, if I'm being brutally honest. Or Ali Ismailov, or Mehmet Unal, or Hot Rod even. Give it Hot Rod.
Fuck.
And you laugh, but Hot Rod's got better wins. Anthony Yard, man. Are we digging up Anthony Yard again? And you know, by the way, that he'll come back after getting battered. He'll win a WBO bum belt against someone, and then they'll stick him with Buatsi for the interim title. That's eventually going to get upgraded. That will happen, and you know it will happen as well. But yeah, Benavides is going to punch him upside down as usual. I think we talked about Norman against Haney on that show as well, and we talked about Abdullah Mason against Sam Noakes on that show. Also on it, Jesse Rodriguez against Puma Martinez for the what we're assuming is going to be the WBO, WBA, WBC, and Ring Super Flyweight titles. Fantastic fight, but Bam's going to punch him up, I think.
They need to stop announcing fights when someone has a fight already announced.
I agree.
It's very disrespectful to the opponent.
He could disrespectful. 1, 2. It's very unlikely he'll get beat. But 3, he could just hurt him. Like, he could break his hand. He could
get cut.
Yeah. So
he
break his leg.
Okay.
Jesse Rodriguez broke his jaw against a much lesser fighter than Fumile.
You could use him as an example.
Yeah.
It could Kafu's most likely going to get his face beat in, but most likely, not certain.
Yeah, but it is a fantastic fight. But Puma's weight and age are a little bit of factors in. I think Bam beats the best version of Puma, but I don't think that version exists anymore. But it's still a really good win, obviously. Man, I posted the box screenshot yesterday, and it's just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous, the run that Bam's been on. And let me just grab it. Yeah, there you go. So, since February 2022, he's gone Quadra, Sorongwasai, Israel Gonzalez, Christian Gonzalez, Sonny Edwards, Juan Francisco Estrada, Pedro Guevara, Fumalele Cafu, and then Puma Martinez.
And there's only one, not good fighter.
It's just ridiculous. Like, it's just a ridiculous run, man. Like, it is just stupidly good. And yeah, it's just mad. It's a mad run, and he's probably like those two win. He's probably already is a generational great, to be honest, but he's gonna be one. And man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really, really fun. Um, Other news, I guess, talking about generational greats, those sorts of weight classes. Chocolatito's back on September the 12th against Hector Robles in Nicaragua, whoever that is. I don't know why he's doing it. He's so inactive and he's so in and out of these fights. I don't know why he's coming back. Like, either get a name or retire. I don't really want to see him in these sorts of fights, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really know what to think about. I don't really like. I love seeing him fight, but like they're not really meaningful. I'm pretty sure he's not doing it for money, so I don't really get it.
I guess activity before he gets a bigger fight, but like, where's that bigger fight going to come from? Who's he going to fight?
I
Like, I
really only
don't know.
see him fighting someone like wanting to cash out against someone like Bam. But that's just not realistic.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, we'll talk about the. Yeah, this is an interesting bit of news. Baturbiev Bivol. It's just been a weird couple of days. Like, some people are saying it's going to happen in Russia. Then Baturbiev came out and said he doesn't know when he's going to fight, and he's blaming Bivol for ducking him or whatever. Then Michael Eifert gets ordered, and it's just all a mess. It seems nobody knows what's going on. Um, yeah, it's just really weird. This whole thing's weird.
We don't know either. Don't really get it.
Yeah, I just hope we don't get to a point where Dmitry Bivol fights Michael Eifert.
Yeah, kind of pissed me off.
Because Jesus Christ, that would be depressing. And yeah, one last bit of news. Jaron Ennis has officially vacated his IBF title at welterweight. The WBA will follow. And yeah, Rolly Romero is going to get upgraded to a full world champion.
Think about does no one have the IBF like interim whatever?
Now that's going to be Donovan against Crocker, isn't it?
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. Yep. And then we'll get Eifert against Conor Wallace for the vacant IBF light heavyweight title, probably as well.
Just give me a rope. Holy fuck.
It's kind of weird, like just the IBF, man. Just the IBF doing IBF things. And yeah, there's not much other news, sorry, unless I've missed anything. No. Okay. Right. Well, there's an even bigger weekend of boxing on the 19th of July, so we'll be back with probably a couple of episodes next week. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Even episode 67.